Good morning. Welcome to 211 Day in Monroe and Owen Counties. My name is Jessica Mace, and I am the Community Investment Coordinator for United Way of Monroe County. Our Executive Director, Barry Lesso, unfortunately is a bit under the weather, and imagine with the weather we have, so he is very sorry, but he will not be able to join us today. To begin, I want to say that United Way is proud of the partnership that we have with Area 10. We have been working with Area 10 now for 4.5 years to promote and support the 211 InfoLink service. We know 211 plays an important role in Monroe and Owen counties. 211 was critical in providing information and referrals to people affected by the storms and floods in 2008. 211 is also an important resource during tax season. 211 refers people to the free community tax service in Monroe and Owen counties, which helps low to moderate income residents file their taxes for free and claim the earned income tax credit. Today, we are going to talk about the impact 211 has on real people in real situations, the importance of 211 to agencies in our communities, and the benefits that 211 provides to community leaders. You will hear from Liz Jones, 211 Program Coordinator, Sue Gulley, the Executive Director of the American Red Cross Monroe County Chapter, and Carrie Conway, the Executive Director at Area 10 Agency on Aging. In addition, today, we are launching 211 Ambassador Program to raise awareness of the 211 InfoLink service in our community. We extend a very warm welcome to our very first 211 ambassadors. These individuals have joined us today to learn more about 211 so that they can effectively promote the service in our community. United Way would also like to thank South Central Community Action Program for the generous grant funding that has made the increased promotion of 211 possible. At this time, I invite Liz Jones to join us and share.
Thank you. So what is it like to call 211? 211 is so much more than an operator giving out a phone number. When a person dials 211, they are greeted by a trained Information and Referral Specialist who will assess the caller's needs and refer them to community resources to help meet those needs. 211 is free, confidential, and available 24 hours a day. Here's an example of a typical 211 call. Sandra and her 2 children have recently moved in with her sister. She's new to the area and has dialed 211 for help, but she doesn't even know where to start. The call specialist starts by asking how the household is doing with food. Sandra has visited a local food pantry across town, but she doesn't have a way to get there. The call specialist is able to locate a food pantry within a mile of her home. Sandra also feels guilty about the strain that she's causing her sister, because she's only been able to find part-time work because she can't afford childcare. The call specialist tells her about a voucher program that she might qualify for to help with childcare costs and affordable after-school programs in the area. She's received divorce papers but hasn't found a lawyer and doesn't know what she needs to do next. The call specialist refers her to local agencies that offer free legal help. Finally, when the specialist asks if there's anything else she could use help with, Sandra is so relieved that she now has some places to call and that it was so simple to find the information by dialing 211. So now I'm going to hand it off to Sue Gulley from the American Red Cross, who's going to speak more about her experiences of working with 211.
Thank you, Liz. I'm very happy to talk about why we at the American Red Cross are advocates for the 211 InfoLink Center. It can be a confusing array of services out there for people who need help, calls to make, doors that close, new numbers to track down. And with 211, all that confusing array of information is stored in one place, and friendly people at the other end of the line can direct callers to the best possible options for their particular situation. That's the way it should work in every community. And I know that when I was asked to be one of the ambassadors for 211, I really could have brought along my entire staff, especially those who answer phones for us during the day, as well as our after-hours service, which happens to be City Dispatch. They now even use 211 after hours, which is fantastic. I'm just going to give you 5 of my reasons why 211 has been a fantastic resource for us as the Red Cross. We've seen the following benefits. 211 is just one number for our own staff and volunteers to remember when they're on the phone with someone who needs help that we cannot provide. We don't have to duplicate the efforts of 211 staffers by tracking all the changes in who provides what for whom and when. I think, eligibility requirements of other agencies are known, pretty much to those other agency staffers themselves. And for my part, that's not something I can train my own staff to do when they can just tell someone, this is a resource for you, this is one call you can make, and these folks who are going to answer the phone are very knowledgeable about the whole service array in the community. Then we know we've done something special for that individual. We also serve Monroe and Owen Counties, so for us, the fact that there is a 211 service available in both Monroe and Owen means it's not a long-distance call for our Owen County constituents. That's a tremendous benefit, and it can be a barrier for lots of folks who need service if they have to make a long-distance call to get help that they need. We rely on 211, as Liz has already mentioned, in times of disaster, and certainly in the most recent ice storm, we were on the phone. I've talked to Liz that week, let her know we were on standby for an emergency shelter when there were, widespread power outages in Monroe County, and then back on the phone to her to let her know this is the emergency shelter, this is when we're opening it, so that we know then that among all the other ways that we try to get information out to the community in times of disaster, we also know that anyone who calls that 211 number is going to get accurate information. And after disasters, people who work in disaster relief and response know that there are always rumors, and it's always better to get the most accurate information you can. 211 is that resource. During the floods of 2008, I saw, some of the high functioning of a 211 center is when they're fielding calls from people who need help, they're also fielding calls from people who want to provide help, who want to volunteer, who have goods they can donate, services they can provide. And I think that Liz and her team did a fantastic job during that time, not only working with us, but working with other charitable organizations in town to coordinate those community efforts. I really commend you for that, Liz. As an agency, when we have new information about resources, it's good to know that we can put that information to 211 to be added to their database. In this past year, we compiled a local military resource guide for use with veterans and their families or active military. We were able to send that information to 211 as a data file that they could add to their database, and also provided them print copies. And it's just another addition to the storehouse of knowledge that is centrally located, and that's a tremendous community benefit. Another benefit to charitable entities is that 211, because they're logging all of these calls, are the repository of the priority of needs and unmet needs in a community. And so it can actually serve as a foundation for new grants, or if you want to enhance existing services, you actually have them as a resource to say, their highest priority calls were about housing and food resources, for instance. And so that's how you can, as a charity, you can always direct your efforts to reflect what's going on most, in the most reliable database of services. the fact that they are also online with their database, I think, speaks to just some of the mega trends that we see, is being able to get your information in lots of different ways. I know, like other agencies, we're, on Twitter and we're on Facebook and we've got a website, and I think 211 being online with their database resources is a fantastic thing too. So just in closing, help us spread the word about 211 in your workplace, in your group or church or school. We think it's the best source of information in an ever-changing landscape of information out there. Thank you.